Ponyfans.com here with senior linebacker Pete Fleps. Pete, one of the leaders of your group, your defense obviously from last year was Chase Kennemer. He has now graduated. What's the biggest part of his game that this defense is going to miss, and how do you fill that void?
His knowledge of the defense. He was such a smart player, and just his instincts and his reaction ability was really second to none on our defense. So that will be missed, and he was just a great football player all around, and his leadership too. So those voids will have to be filled, but we got the guys to do it.
Coach Herring and a couple of your teammates have said that one of the things that made Chase unique was that he knew everyone's assignment on the field on every play. Does that role fall to you now as one of the elder statesmen on the defense here?
It does, but it really falls to all the linebackers. We really have to know what the D-line's doing, what the secondary's coverage responsibilities are. So being kind of in the middle of the defense, we really typically have to know just about everything.
The guy who's expected to step into Chase's spot next to you is Taylor Reed. What are your impressions of Taylor? What does he bring that makes him an effective fill-in at that spot? And just talk a little about the differences between how he looks now compared to when he was a wide-eyed freshman a year ago.
Taylor is he's a great athlete. Last year as a freshman, he was kind of thrown in the fire early, and his technique reads were a little slow, sloppy. So he's really cleaned that up during spring, and now he looks like just an all-around, much more polished football player. So it'll be exciting to see what he does this year.
A couple of teammates said he was also one of the harder workers this offseason after maybe sort of easing into the weight room last year. Is that a result of you and Yuri Yenga and some of the older guys reminding him of the importance of that?
I think he also, I'd hope so, but also he understands that now he's a veteran, and with that comes some more responsibility. And he also understood that he was a little undersized last year, so he had to put on some weight, and he did that. And that only comes through hard work. So he put in the time this summer, and I think he's ready and to have a big year for us.
Okay, you mentioned undersized. Last year when he got here, Jagarrett Davis was thinner than you might like at linebacker, but there was a point during the season where you could see the light come on, and he really started to have a major impact on some games. Now he's supposedly put on about 20 pounds since last year, and people talk about his athletic ability being sort of off the charts. How good can he be as he grows into his frame and gets more and more comfortable in this defense?
Jagarrett has the potential to be extremely good, but he has to grow in some discipline as far as not taking his ability for granted. But he has improved a lot, and he has put on weight, as you said. So he's got a ton of potential, but he still has to put in the discipline and in the time to get the most and maximize that potential.
You've got a lot more young guys now. You've got the sophomores, and then you've got 3 or 4 new freshmen who are in here. Is this group deep enough that you could roll in more and more fresh legs this year?
I think so. At the D-line, we're a little shallow, but in other positions, we have some depth. I'd say we have the most depth at linebacker. So in that position, we're pretty confident if someone goes down, we won't slow down when someone replaces him. So overall, I think we have a little bit more depth. Some of the JUCO guys look good. Justin, Sorrell. So we look like we're in good position as far as depth goes.
Okay, you mentioned the depth at the linebacker position. Because of the nature of your defense, where the 3 big guys up front generally try to tie up some blockers and let you guys do so much running sideline to sideline, does that make this a better unit if you can roll in freshmen and sophomores to give you a break, or Yuri?
I don't think no. I think the veteran guys should be out there all the time, to be honest. I mean, if we're tired and someone needs to tap out, then they should do it. But I don't think any of the veteran linebackers are going to be in that position. The most experienced, seasoned guys should be out there all the time, especially in those critical moments. So hopefully this year we won't run every game down to the wire, and maybe some of those young guys can get in there and get some of the reps in the end of the game when we're ahead. But as far as just the veterans being in there all the time, I think that's how it should be.
You got about 3 weeks to go before you get to see someone in different colored jerseys. New coaching staff out in Lubbock. What kind of changes do you expect in their offense, and how much film have you even gotten a chance to look at so far?
We've been primarily watching Troy's offensive film because their offensive coordinator now is the coordinator at Tech. We know that they've got a great coaching staff, and we've just got to prepare for pretty much anything as far as they could. We don't know if they have a tight end because Troy did run some 11 and 12 personnel, but we know they're going to still have that spread attack. So we're preparing for a lot of different things, and we know we're going into a very hostile environment. Tech is an incredibly hard place to play, but we're excited about that. But we're just preparing for multiple things.